You could take your color. That's fine.
Good evening, everybody. So this evening, we will be making some elderberry elixir, which is most commonly used to prevent cough, any sicknesses. Mainly the common cold stuff. I use this. I use this to shoot. Can you grab me a spoon, please? I use this as preventative for my children and our family. Yeah, that's fine. So every morning we just, well, I wouldn't say every morning or when we remember, because it's not every morning. We take this as preventative, just as you would like I guess a vitamin. We just take a medicine cupful. And then I would say if you are sick, you could also take this up to 3 times a day to treat your cold. So what it is, it's elderberries. These are whole elderberries. They were purchased off of Amazon, I believe, out of frontiercoop.com. That's where you could find these, or mountainroseherbs.com also sells them. And then cinnamon sticks, I use the whole ones. And then star anise and cinnamon sticks, and you can find in big bags like this at Amazon. These also the same, everything comes in bulk. So what we will do, and also you can also add ginger. Ginger is also, but it's optional because ginger gives it kind of a really not so pleasant taste. But the small, so this is like, this will fill, I would say, about 12. Was it, what size were those jars? 12 ounce or 16 ounce jars? I think we did about 12 of them.
Yeah.
So a batch this big would fill that much. And if you were just planning on doing something small for your own family, a small batch for yourself, when I make stuff like this, you know, I share it with people. But the small recipe I have written down, I'll have Jen show you guys. I'll give you the directions, I guess. 2 cups of water to 1 cup of dried elderberries, half cup of star anise, about roughly 5 cinnamon sticks, a ginger. If you're gonna do ginger, I would just say, God, probably like, I don't know, a pinky nail, you know, something small, because ginger is really strong. Those are the directions there. You would just boil everything, put it in a pot, boil it 45 minutes, strain. After it's done, you're going to use cheesecloth. I mean, we'll go over the process, but that's the most simplest recipe. Everything, like I said, you can find on Amazon, mountainroseherbs.com, frontiercoop.com. I'm sure you could find at your local store, such as Walmart, whatever. I'm sure I would have something to this nature. I don't know about elderberries, but so we're gonna let that cook boil for about 45 minutes, however long it takes us to chop up our stuff for our fire cider. We'll move right on into that while we're letting that cook, and then we'll come back to that. Does anybody have any questions as of right now?
Anybody have questions? So long time ago, of course, long time ago, we didn't have a pharmacy, or we didn't have Walgreens or CVS or a hospital. So a lot of this stuff that we make, or the medicines that we make, is really old. We just have learned to accommodate to the present time of medicinal medicines, or different, not all of the ingredients are around here, so we have to get from other places. But some places, you know, they do have, you can find the elderberry, you can either grow,
Stores.
see them in stores, or you can ask. Usually another place is a lot of the natural herb or remedy places have those. But other than that, like we said, is preventative. Our people a long time ago used to be very preventative. We didn't, you know, we always prepared for the winter seasons, or all the seasons. Everything had a place, time, and space that we made, or we prepared for winter, prepared for spring, because we were getting ready for gardening to we went to the river, especially in the summertime. We went closer to the river so we can get ready for winter. Still to this day, we have a pottery class coming up here in June. The gentleman that teaches, he still gets the clay from the Missouri River. So those are very important to us. Everything is important. What we do is try to make sure that if we do anything outside, we'll do foraging. And if we go and gather anything from outside, we always take what we need. We never take more than we need. It's just something that we have that respect. And we also give an offering. We offer tobacco, you know, because we're taking from living, because it grows and it gives us nourishment, or it gives us medicine. Other than that, those are some of the things that we try to do and to share, because with this pandemic, we've really gone above and beyond. We try to help the community here. We help our elders and the folks that have underlying conditions. We try to, whatever we make, we try to give out. We share our knowledge and share our medicines, because that's just how we help one another to heal and to, so like I ended up getting COVID. Just a little short thing about COVID. I ended up getting COVID in November, but I think what really helped me was I did all the preventative measures, meaning I've been doing elderberry for a long time. Every morning I take a drink, and I'm a little bit older, so I try to stay healthy and try to not get sick. And so during COVID, or since COVID, up to when I ended up getting COVID, I think that what helped me not to have very severe problems, I ended up having mild symptoms, which is really awesome. I'm really grateful, because we've lost a lot of people in their community, and so I think the preventative measures are something that, you know, we take for granted, that it's we're okay, and we're gonna be okay, and or I could just go to the store and get the medicines. But I really believe in the natural medicines are big. And it seems like a lot of people are interested. We have a lot of folks that are from not the reservation that have reached out and like, can we get the recipe? And so we share what we can with everybody. And we always say, you know, it's just helpful. I'll let Latoya start giving you the recipe on the fire starter.
So what I'm gonna start with, do you want to just put it down here?
Yep.
What I'm gonna start with is the whole black peppercorns, and we're gonna do about 2 tablespoons roughly. We'll just make it right in the jar, make it simple. We'll add everything in. We're gonna do the peppercorns. We will do. What was that?
Yeah.
We have a visitor.
What was that?
I don't know. Someone's moving something around. I'm just gonna add in these crushed red peppers. Other people use like Thai peppers or whatever, something to add heat. I was kind of like in a rush yesterday, running up and down the grocery aisles. So I had to get what I could find, and that's kind of my substitute. Next, we will add jalapeno. And guys, like, you can't really get this recipe wrong. Like, you could pretty much add anything into your fire cider and make it like hot. That's gonna make it spicy, because once you make it, you're going to turn it upside down and you're just going to let it sit, and it's gonna make itself, and it'll be ready for you to drink in 2 weeks. And this also helps. People use this like if they were to get a cold, they say to drink this and it just kind of like knocks it out. I don't know if it's the heat or what it is. Have you ever tried it? Any of you guys tried it?
So when I had COVID, I did the fire cider, and it just kind of made ended up getting like a lot of the junk, the phlegm. So I didn't have that buildup because I was afraid of pneumonia.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people that took the fire cider all said that it really helped, got the nasal going, and then just getting the phlegm out. And it just overall, it's kind of a gut therapy, kind of cleans your gut out, because we're in a society now. Our food system is very processed. And one thing that why we do the traditional medicine is a little history about the food system. There's 5 whites that Native Americans really have a hard time breaking down. It's your dairy. We didn't have cows back in the day. We didn't milk from a buffalo, by no means. So it's your dairy, your sugar, your salt, your lard or your grease, and your baking powder, or baking powder, I think it is, those are the 5 whites that we try to educate people on, is because our people have a hard time digesting. Our body's not made up for it. We're very traditional medicine still. We like meat. We were meat eaters. We weren't processed food. And 5 whites is kind of a tough for us. And so that's why we're trying to educate everybody to try to get back into the traditional eating. Because a lot of people, I even suffer from it. I suffer from gut problems. I just have a hard time digesting certain foods. And so if we can all, eat good and healthy, I think we can, our longevity of living is going to be that much more.
So the next one we will do is onion.
Ooh, that's strong. Holy, woo,
What?
I could just smell that onion.
I said it's going to make us cry.
Holy. I have 2 jars at home. One I kicked in because I finished another jar. That's potent, man. Linda made those. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Anybody have questions? Don't be afraid to ask. You won't know if you don't ask.
Oh my gosh. It hit me.
Did it hit you?
Yes.
I'm just sitting right here and I'm like, wow.
Why do onions have to make you cry? Ugh, it's ugly. Okay. My nose getting red. Okay. Okay, next we will do. We're just gonna smell good after we leave here. Garlic.
And one of the things that, so my grandma, when she passed away, she was 104. So when I told her we were gonna start doing these classes, and she said, you know, a long time ago, she said, back in the day, we used to drink skunk juice.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, we used to drink skunk juice. I'm like, Grandma, really?
Yeah,
She's
they
like,
would
yeah.
catch the skunks.
Yep, get the skunk and you can't break their bag. But anyways, they used to drink the skunk juice. So if you think about it, we've gone from, the only thing I could think of is we've gone from skunk juice to elderberry to fire cider and over-the-counter medicine. So, and the crazy part, that's not even 200 years ago. It's like less than 150 years ago, even probably less than that, that we did that, you know. And then what they used to do too, she said, they used to put it in like a little sack, kind of like the like a bladder sack, because like the buffalo, you can make a water bag out of it.
Out of the bladder.
So what they would do is out of a one of those, they would put the skunk juice and put it by the front door or the front of the teepee, and that's what used to keep like the sicknesses away, the virus, you know, because things have a, you know,
Spirit. Everything has
everything
a spirit.
has a spirit. So that's what they did, was to keep viruses, to keep colds, keep whatever away. So that's how powerful we believe, and we know that the skunk is, you know, it's a relative. Yes, it's stinky, it's gross, but actually it was a health, you know, it helped us to be healthy and it helped us to be safe.
Mhm.
I thought that was really interesting. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? Grandma, you got to be kidding me. And she's like, nope. And she grew up drinking skunk juice. I think she told me like 1960s were the last time she had it. It's pretty interesting when you visit with elders. They'll tell you all the old things that are a
How
long
about-
time ago, what they ate and so forth, what was good and what wasn't good.
How about any of the students that are listening? Have they ever heard of any of this stuff or tried it? Maybe it's their first time. That's why they're all here.
No, this is all new to me.
And one student says, I have not.
Yeah.
One's never tried it, and neither have I. So, so with this, you know, like our traditional medicines and our foods, you know, I don't know if you guys know of a Linda Black Elk. If you're on Facebook or any social media, Twitter to Instagram, check her out. She used to be one of our instructors here, but she taught Latoya, and so that's why Latoya's teaching. But Linda is a really awesome. She's an ethnobotanist, and she knows a great deal of plants and the whole 9 yards. So if I was you, I would really suggest you to follow her. She's always giving out Zoom to recipes.
I think they're actually having a class.
I think tonight.
No. I
the 6th.
believe it's like the 4th or the 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gives out free, does free classes, and she does like all kinds of other stuff, you know, other medicines, like different foods.
Plants that
Yep,
you
she'll
can eat.
Yep, that you could
Walk
just go
around.
walk outside at your house and you can have a salad, to going out and doing foraging walks where you can gather all the medicine and so forth. Yeah, she's a good person to watch and to pay close attention to, and get recipes and stuff and try them, you know, share with your friends, you know. Maybe you guys might find out, you know, that all along you're probably allergic to one of the over-the-counter medicines. And that's one of the things that I truly believe that, you know, a lot of times we don't truly get better with the over-counter because it's kind of like a suppressant rather than something that's potent, that's going to work, and, you know, it's fresh. It's not broken down to make cough syrup or we're not throwing capsules or gels in our mouth. We're actually drinking it. We're actually making it, you know, as you can see, we're making it. And so I really think, you know, if you try it, I think you'll probably notice the difference, and, you know, you could share with your family or your friends and your instructors and so forth. It's just better way of taking care of ourselves. Because remember, you're in college, no one's going to take care of you, right?
So next we're going to add in, after we did the peppercorns, we did the crushed peppers, we did jalapeno, we did onion, garlic, now some ginger. Put a little in each one. Remember, ginger is very strong. This one actually smells very good.
It does.
Like, it almost smells lemony. You know
It does.
what I mean?
I can smell it too.
But yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions or curious about something or something maybe you might have heard? Or as far as Emily goes for sage, yes, we believe in smudging. It's kind of like instead of Lysol, we have sage.
Yes.
And we also have sweetgrass and we have cedar. So a lot of times most Native Americans in the area where we live, not everybody has like Lysol and Febreze and all that. My family, we use a lot of sage and cedar and sweetgrass. It's just more natural.
Mhm.
It's more cleansing, you know. You cleanse the house and you cleanse yourself, meaning you smudge yourself. It's just the more natural way rather than all the.
Do we have a grater?
Oh, I don't know if I do. I don't know. Check. but it's just another way of taking care of yourself and taking care of your home. Because in our belief is our Tiwahe, which is our family, that's our first government. I'm a single mom, so I'm mom. I'm the one that calls the shots. Whether my kids are all grown, but I still call the shots. Because if I'm not doing good and my kids are not doing good, then we're no use to anybody else besides our home. So you always have to make sure that everybody's in good spirits, good thoughts. That's why, my kids are grown. They still smudge. They still believe and they pray. It's just, that's one of the ways that we were taught. And we still believe in it. In good health. If we're not in good health, like I said, we're no good to anybody. If we're not mentally, physically, spiritually, in good health, we are no good to ourselves or anybody else, even our own family. So always take care of yourself. And especially being young and in education, you're getting your education. You need all that good energy to finish what you start, and get a degree and continue on with life.
So next we will add in lemon. I should have had a grater, which would have helped me a lot, but whatever. Can always be.
Ooh, that's strong too.
Yes, but it smells really good. Now I will not rub my eyes after this. I swear every time I'm making something with jalapenos, never fails. I always rub my eye. What the heck? Yeah. Okay, so usually this calls for a grated lemon, because you kind of want the lemon zest, the zest of the peel, whatever, but who cares? Like I said, you can't get this wrong, because it's going to sit, marinate, and it'll be ready in like 2 weeks. I'm sure you could check it before it. I mean, you don't have to wait 2 weeks. There is nothing that says you have to wait 2 weeks, but I'm sure the better it sits, the better it'll be. The more strong anyways. So after we get this put in,
or like what we were told, when we gather medicines and foods and everything comes with patience as well. So we have to be patient when we garden. We got to be patient when we harvest.
and we always do things with good thoughts.
Yep.
We never cook or make anything, or it doesn't matter if you're making something, food, whatever, medicine, you always have good thoughts and kind of say some prayers as you're making it, because like we said, we share our stuff, so we always want whoever we're going to share this with to be healed, to be with good health. So we do things with a good heart always. Next we will have, I should have had horseradish, but I couldn't find any. However, I did find some paste, some horseradish roots, but I don't know. Like I said, we don't really have to put it in there. And yeah, this is more pasty and not rooty. So I'm not going to do that. This is apple cider vinegar. This is pretty much you. Okay, and then we're gonna add in some turmeric. Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, turmeric.
Turmeric root powder. That's what we're gonna use because obviously, so powder is fine. I like to fill mine just to the neck of the bottle. That way you leave a little bit of room for your stuff. I'm gonna seal this up. So usually when you have just the root, it wouldn't be so yellow. That we have the powder. And then you'll just jar them with apple cider vinegar and let them marinate. I would say I am going to leave those for, it'll probably be longer than 2 weeks, but whatever. And then just every now and then give it a shake, whatever, wherever you have it sitting in your cupboard or set it out the way. I would refrigerate it. I guess I wouldn't want to drink this stuff at a room temperature. It's going to be hot. It's going to be strong. It's going to open up your sinuses. And I definitely wouldn't want to drink it warm. I would probably much rather drink it cold. Yeah.
And then after 2 weeks, do you put your honey in?
Your honey for this?
Yeah, some people put honey.
You know what? I've never added honey into mine.
Really? Yeah, some people do honey. I mean,
it just gives it a different taste.
Does it down it or open it up more?
I would say it would tame it down much less than making it spicy.
Really?
Because it's going to, I mean, I think so.
Because it's so potent.
Yes, it's going to be strong. It will.
Anybody have questions? I hope you guys are interested. Like I said, you'd be amazed. So hopefully down the road, we are going to be having some of you guys come to Sitting Bull College, and we're going to be able to offer a foraging and be able to make something, and you guys can take home. And but other than that, just to get to see how things are made, and you know what's made of it, where it comes from. Like I said, you know, long time ago we didn't have to go too far. A long time ago we didn't have to go to a store, but we're having to do what we can with what we have and what we can, and still try to mimic all the old traditional medicines and so forth. And like I said, if you were here, it's really strong in here.
It's very strong. So like Jen said, you can tame it down by adding the raw honey, but wait 2 weeks. I would wait 2 weeks and then open your jar and then add in your honey and then refrigerate it. There you go. Let's check this out. You know what? I should have added ginger in this.
Throw it in there. I think it would still be okay. Might be too much.
I don't like that taste. Ginger is something,
It's powerful.
yes, it is. It just kind of gives it a different taste. Bad
Different
enough,
taste.
elderberry isn't all that great, but when you have honey in it, it tastes a lot better. But I mean, like the ginger, I don't.
Ginger's spicy.
Yeah, it makes it like it'll open up your sinuses.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's a lot of the reason why they make it optional in elderberry. It's not necessarily needed. So we will wait, I would say 45 minutes to boil this. I don't know how long it's even been. It's been about 40. Well,
Probably about-
it actually probably hasn't really even come to a boil yet. So what we will do is, once this comes to a boil, we'll get our cheesecloth out and strain.
Do you wanna just grab one of those jars over here?
You want me to?
No, talking to Latoya.
Consider the 14th.
Mhm.
Fast forward. And then are those jars?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
And then,
We could just kind of show them.
yep. Here, let me.
Okay, so once you complete your boil, your cinnamon stick should be all opened up. Your elderberry should hopefully be all boiled down, softened up. What you will do is then you're going to strain. This is like the simplest way for me after many fails of trying to get that into there. So I just rest the strainer in here with the cheesecloth, dump your product, what you have boiling into here, and then it'll sit in there just nicely. It never runs over. I'm gonna grab it from each end, squeeze it, wring it out, make sure you get all the excess juice out of your berries. And then once it's all taken out, we'll only just have the liquid. And then we're going to add in our organic, raw and unfiltered honey. They say to use local, but sometimes you just use what you can get. Not everybody has local honey or a local farmer friend. So just get this. I usually use the whole thing for a batch this big. If you're just making the small, like the one we showed you the recipe, then I would say about a cup of honey should sweeten up your product, but not make it too sweet. After you have it sitting in here and it's just sitting in there and you haven't added in your honey yet, you're going to want to let it cool off for about 15 minutes. Once it's done, add your honey in, and then we're going to can. We're just going to put it in the cans, seal them. If you want to just leave it on the shelf, a lot of people do the canning. You know, you put all your cans in the big stock pot and boil it on the stove, whatever. But I don't do all that because this isn't really meant to just sit on your shelf. because it's medicine. You should just be taking it, and you're going to give it to your family and friends, not just for them to leave sitting somewhere. So usually we don't can these. I mean, I'm sure you could if you wanted to stockpile it or whatever, you know, people are crazy and do that kind of stuff. So I usually just put them in a jar and it goes like crazy. Every morning we line up little medicine cups, like rounds of shots for my children, and everybody takes one. And so far we've all, well, I've been okay. I haven't gotten anything, and I take this regularly, so I think I'm.
So how old are your kids? Like what age can you start with the homemade
So
elderberry?
2 on a, because you never want to give little kids honey, you know, they say that. I mean, so 2 years, I would say my 2-year-old takes it. Of course, we don't put it in a medicine cup for him because you have to kind of fight with him, you know, like. But after I always add a little bit more honey to mine, because honey isn't always a bad thing, because honey does, you know, it like suppresses if you have a sore throat or whatever, you know, it takes that coughy feeling away of, you know, your throat being irritated and you're coughing. Just take a tablespoon of honey. You'll sleep good. That's what I do. I don't know if it like coats your throat or what it does, but it makes you stop coughing. I always just put a little bit more in mine for my little guy because otherwise it's kind of tart. You know, it's not so pleasant of a taste. It's not like bug juice in a,
Pure sugar.
yeah. So, but that's all I have, because this is going to take a while and it's just going to be a lot of downtime. I mean, I could talk, but I don't have any.
Do you guys have any questions?
Could you post the elderberry recipe? Sorry, did you hear that? Could you post the elderberry recipe in the comments?
Do this here.
Can we take a picture and put it on
Can
there?
you take a picture?
What now? Are you
I can type it on the thing.
okay?
Okay, do you want to, okay, go ahead and. So we're still on, is this that we're gonna get you the recipe, so bear with us. You have any other questions? Chat.
I could also put it up there and they can type it. Chat, there we go. 2 cups of water.
Yeah, so you guys learned some interesting medicine that I have a friend up in Calgary area, and we talked last Sunday, and there's about 1,700 in their tribe, and they still drink skunk juice. So so
Oops.
if grandma says we're drinking skunk juice, then people are still doing it. All right, it's legit.
Grab all the skunks on the side of the road.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought that was so cool when grandma said that. I was like, what?
5 sticks.
Yeah.
You guys have any questions? Do you have recipes coming? So if you guys look on your chat, I think who asked it? Ellison? Do you see it? I think it's Ellison.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. And if you guys have questions, just get a hold of I'll put my email address in as soon as I get done with the recipe. So if you guys see those cute, stinky skunks, now you're gonna be giggling. You'd be like, that's unreal. People still drink the skunk juice. I'm wanting to do a class on it. So if you guys want to attend, that'd be awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I just got to find someone
You
that's
gotta-
willing to, if I get sprayed, they're going to get sprayed with me. So And then, so that's the recipe. And then here is my email. Let's see here.
We're gonna go get a skunk.
The skunk traps.
You can see you can get skunk juice and then you can make skunk caps.
There's my email address. I thank you guys for attending. Like I said, if you have any questions, send me an email and I'll get the answer for you. Hope you guys learned a lot.